I'm Ryan Benson.
I'm Josh Saunders.
We are Pop Culturists, and today, Nintendo dropped their their presentation for the Nintendo Switch.
Directly shat on us. No,
It was directly painful to my eyeballs. So look, let's get a lot of the first big details out of the way. So we know that it's going to be releasing worldwide.
They came out strong. Like the first 5 minutes, we're just like, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, so we'll go through this. So we've got March 3rd is the release date. That's a worldwide release date. That's $299.99 US, or from the PR email I received about 20 minutes ago, $469.95 Australian. There'll be no region locking. Depending on what game you're playing, it can vary between 2.5 to 6 hours of Beatriz. Touchscreen. You can, up to 8 can play in local multiplayer. Amiibos are still a thing with an RF reader in the Joy-Con.
Clever.
Yep. There's a share button.
Yeah. So maybe Nintendo aren't going to be so... What's the polite word I'm looking for? Particular about their fair use and all of that. Because at the moment, they're kind of notorious for flagging videos for copyright.
Anything with Nintendo in it, they'll normally pick up on it. And they've also mentioned that the Joy-Cons, which are the two little controllers, have a bunch of like accelerometers and pressure sensors.
So they've still got motion controls and all that kind of stuff for certain games.
Well, let's talk about the hardware. So how do you think with what they announced?
That's fine. I have no qualms with the hardware itself. Like I said in my own video, like the tech specs, I still really don't care. I explain why. Like I don't care about the actual power of the unit. Yeah, I just want to be able to play the games whenever I want to play them, wherever I want to play them. Whether I use the Joy-Cons because it looks really small. Yeah,
I'd say they're about that big.
Yeah, so. Like, to me, it's perfect. It's exactly what I thought it was going to be. Priced at about what I thought it was going to be priced. Coming out sooner than I thought, so I'm stoked.
Yeah, for me, like, look, it's certainly coming out sooner than I thought as well. I thought it would be more around the $399, closer to $400, and then for $70, Jesus, you can literally buy a PS4 and a couple of games.
These days you can, yeah. Not at launch, though.
Yeah. Certainly not at launch, but that puts into perspective. See, like, although granted, you may not think the power is important, which a lot of the time it isn't, but when you literally can buy a console that can run at 1080p and run better and faster, like all these additional things the PS4 can do.
If you're at home on your couch.
Yeah, at $320.
Yeah. But that's the caveat, yeah, is that you can pick this thing up and take it with you.
Yeah.
Like, that's the trade. You trade power for portability.
100%.
That's how it's always
been.
But
at the same point, like, $470 is a very expensive portable console.
I don't think so.
3DS is what, $200? But it's staggeringly less powerful.
Yeah.
But the point I'm making is, like, it's a lot of money for something that you most predominantly will be taking around. But mind you, I'm still paying for it.
Having said that, you can't buy a new iPad that cheap.
Hell no.
Fucking way you can buy an iPad.
Not a chance.
And if your gaming addiction is Candy Crush and Clash of Clans, then all the more power to you. But I'm going to be playing Breath of the Wild while I'm doing a poo. So
yeah, look, that's their benefit. Like, it seems pretty good. I am a little disappointed in a couple of other things.
Oh yeah, the presentation itself was rubbish.
We'll get to the games and then we'll go over the presentation as a whole. But one thing they mentioned with the Joy-Cons as well, like, now I was always sort of under the impression that they can be used, like the gimmick itself was the fact that you and I could both play a game with the two Joy-Cons. But that was the gimmick. Yep. But no, the gimmick is within those Joy-Cons are accelerometers, are motion sensors. So they are essentially miniaturized Wiimotes.
Which is impressive, given the size of them.
It's somewhat impressive, but why can't Nintendo just make a standard gaming machine? Why does it have to have this dumb, stupid thing on it?
The thing is, we say it's dumb and stupid, but overall it's not. People do play. Like, the Wii's proof, man. The Wii's proof that these motion controls and all that...
Yeah, but it's proof that it's not our demographic.
Exactly.
The Wii won from children and seniors.
Yeah.
Because the Wii was relatively easy to use and go along that way. Then, if you look at that last reveal video, they're not marketing to the age bracket anymore. They're aiming for us.
Yeah, yeah.
So they put this gimmicky shit in it?
I think they're trying to aim it at everyone, because I'm glad that I'm kind of glad it does have that stuff because we don't need just another fucking console. You know, we've got Xbox and PlayStation. We don't need another version of them with 5 different games and they all have. We don't need that.
I think we do.
Argument. I don't think we do at all. There's enough diversity between Xbox and PlayStation that, you know, that's your primary powerful home console device, yeah?
But the gimmick in itself should have been that it's portable. That would be sufficient. Like, if you just went, look, it plays some of the games that you play on your console, but on the out and about, I'm like, that's pretty good. Like, that's enough for me.
Yeah, but that's not enough for everyone. But the thing is, with the accelerometers and all, and like in the games that were announced to support it, just don't play them.
Oh, I have no intention.
It doesn't matter if the tech's in there or not.
See, the thing
my
is,
issue is they spent so much time talking about it.
We'll get to those games in a moment, but yeah, like, I don't see them benefiting anyone other than here's this little gimmicky game that we've got at the start. Like, because if say as an example, which is unlikely, right? Let's say the new Mass Effect game, not going to happen, but it's out on the Switch. Do they then have to put that gimmicky shit in it? They don't have.
No, I don't believe they do. I don't believe they'll.
Because like a lot of those third-party games that came across to the Wii and the Wii U were like, it almost appeared they were forced to use the gimmick.
Yeah.
And whether that takes place this time.
See, that's just, you know, we're just speculating that. Like, we don't know. It's too early to know. But I'd like to think that it's not pushed. There will be games that are released for $30-$40. It's like, they use these features. Yeah, it's guaranteed. They've got the features there. They're going to have someone developing these games to use it. But I'd like to think they're not forcing it in. Because so far from what we've seen with Breath of the Wild, there's none of that needing to be used.
Speaking of games, so they mentioned that there will be... there's over 50 third-party developers, like excluding anything done in-house.
The translator said apparently 50 third-party
apparently
developers.
50. So there will be 50 third-party developers, and there's an estimated 80 games in development for the Switch. And some of those were...
Go ahead.
Let's go through them. 1-2 Switch.
So that's the game to take advantage of all the whatever the fuck.
So it's essentially like it's a game that makes using controllers like swords and guns,
gunslinging and stuff.
It's Wii garbage. Arms, which was more Wii garbage, is the whole idea of like
just punching
with the controllers,
boxing with extendo arms. Shit.
Splatoon 2, coming out in winter Australian 2017.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, Super Mario Odyssey coming in Christmas or holiday period 2017. Xenoblade 2. Fire Emblem Warriors was another one.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's all from that sort of first party. Third party, we got Square Enix came out with Dragon Quest 10 and 11 in Japan, as well as Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2. Atlas came out with, how do you say it?
What?
How do you spell it? Shin Megami Tensei?
Shin Megami Tensei.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Square Enix also had Project Octopath Traveler. Todd Howard rocked up from Bethesda to talk about Skyrim, and EA rocked up with FIFA.
Woohoo!
It's tough.
I'm confident that we are going to get a lot more games revealed over the weekend.
Yeah, because
with Treehouse happening tomorrow, and you know the world, including you and Dave, getting their hands on the Switch themselves. It just seemed like that games weren't the focus, which might have been their mistake. Because so far, like for me personally, the games that have been announced, there's a lot of JRPGs in that list, and that's my thing. So I'm excited for all of them. I'm excited for Breath of the Wild. Splatoon's not far away. Apparently, Mario Kart Deluxe 8 is coming.
Yeah, that's a big like having a Mario Kart game is huge.
So it's Mario Kart from the Wii U with all the DLC, Splatoon characters, Splatoon map, battle modes come back. I saw Link in the trailer for it riding around on a motorbike. Like, why wasn't that fucking spoken about? Like, that hyped me heaps, and that's coming out in April. So for the first couple of months, I'm fucking set with this thing, yeah? But those games do fit me personally. I realise they don't fit the majority of people.
But what's really disappointing, though, is they talk about how they have all this third-party support. And granted, there's all those very Japanese-y third parties, like, you know, Square Enix is sort of, that's what they do.
Yep.
Atlas, that's what they do.
Yep.
Then you've got Bethesda coming out and mentioning Skyrim. Not Skyrim Special Edition, might I add. This is the Skyrim from 2011.
Mm-hmm. Still impressive portably.
Still impressive to have it portably. That's fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then having FIFA, EA come out with just FIFA.
They flew this dude out to talk for 3 minutes all the way to Tokyo.
It makes it sound like outside, like, yes, those Japanese ones make sense because, this is the Japanese conference, but they aren't the big third parties that'll move units.
No.
Like, then you have Skyrim, impressive.
I'm not buying it for
It
the
won't
Switch.
move units.
I just bought the remastered.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it again.
FIFA makes sense, but it's like...
It's not a FIFA anything. It's a FIFA Switch.
Yeah.
It's just for the Switch.
But, like, they had this impressive list of... There's, like, Ubisoft, and we saw in the sizzle reel, which showed more games than the whole conference did.
There was Rayman, there was Minecraft.
Yeah, there was Steep.
Reel,
There's all these big things that they should have mentioned, and they're probably mentioning at the Treehouse.
Yeah.
But, like, this is what shows that third-party support. From this... I would think there would be they're not really involved.
But here's the thing with that for me too, and I realise this is just me, and I realise how important third-party support is for this thing because it will sell more units. Is that I don't care about the third-party support because I have my PS4 for that. While it would be good to have everything on the one console, it's not realistic. So my Switch will primarily be for the Nintendo games, the Nintendo IPs. Anything else, I'm probably going to buy it on my PS4. But I'm in that situation where I do have another console. So, that's not coming to Switch. Oh, well, I'll get it on the PS4.
But this is for this is for Nintendo as a strength, right?
Yeah, so that's exactly what I said.
The problem is, with Wii U, they blocked... They essentially limited third-party support. Like, once everyone bailed out...
Yeah.
They were really strict on what come through because the Wii had so much, shovelware on it.
Yeah.
That they sort of will step back a little bit, let's be more restrictive on what can and can't come on the Wii U. Yeah. And what that really proved is how many there's less diehard Nintendo fans that there ever were. There's less pulling power for just Nintendo IP.
And I've seen people saying on the Nintendo Switch subreddit, Switch will be my only console. So third party support for me is very, very important, and I totally get that.
Yeah.
And I totally get it from the marketing perspective and how many units they can sell with good third-party support. I'm saying for me personally, not that much of a big deal.
Because we're in a good place.
We are in a good place.
I've got an Xbox and a PS4, and I'm going to get a Switch.
Yeah.
I'm lucky that way.
Yeah, and I have my PS4. So, if X third-party game doesn't come on the Switch, no big deal for me. I'll just get it on the PlayStation if I really want it.
Yeah.
But not everyone's in that situation. So I do understand why that's important. But yeah... They brought out a couple of third-party developers for the Switch, and they're like, "We're really excited to be working with Nintendo."
Yeah, there was a guy from Sega.
What are you talking about? Where are the games?
Guy from Sega. He came out and was like, "Hey, we're making a game."
Yeah,
and left.
It's in early development. Okay. And continue.
But it did end with the massive announcement. Now, breaking my prediction. So my prediction was already broken with the price. And then double punch. I predicted that Zelda would not come out within the first month, maybe 2 months.
Fuck, they're lucky it is. With the other games that are coming out at launch, they're very lucky.
Yeah, but with the first month or so. But Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will be out March 3, the same day as the Switch console.
With an incredible new trailer. Yeah. Amazing new trailer. Overall, my hype is still high. Yeah? I know you're disappointed, but... this is actually speaking to me. With the kind of games they've shown, this is fucking perfect for what I'm looking to use the Switch for. It's still hitting all the right notes. Yeah, the presentation as a whole was boring, lacked information on key stuff we wanted to know. What's the UI? What do you mean the online paid app?
Online services. They're like, hey, we have our own online service now.
That's fine. That is completely fine.
And it's free up until this point. Yeah, because there's no fucking games.
Yeah.
It's like...
No, but having that paid service like Microsoft, that is completely fine with me. That's not an issue. But what irked me is that they say all their online service, chatting with your friends, partying, creating lobbies, is done through an app on your smartphone and not natively on the device.
No. So which makes it assume that it's not. Which makes it's not able to be done on the device itself, which would be really bad.
They did heavily mention it on your smart device and not on the unit itself, and that it's not. it's an inconvenience that probably doesn't need to exist. Whether they've done that because there isn't a lot of power in it and they need to save the power to run the game, so they've moved that aspect out of the console itself, I don't know. But it is just an inconvenience.
That says a lot about the console itself. Like, if power's not important, but if it can't do basic functions like messaging and creating like matchmaking, what the fuck? Like, because no point did they mention anything about technical specs other than the estimated battery life and that it has Wi-Fi. Like, they missed... Although there was a lot of interesting information, there was a lot of garbage information and a lot of information we really should have needed. Now, hopefully I get more of that information tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
When I go and get my hands on it, because there's a media event here in Melbourne.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that can give me more answers. But, yeah... I'm not cancelling my pre-order, that's for sure.
No, I'm still just as hyped as I was yesterday. Yeah, because I realised the presentation was shit, and for everybody there wasn't a lot of info. But for me, like I said, that presentation, what it showed me and the games that I like to play, perfect. That's exactly what I was hoping. Those are the kind of games I was hoping to play on the Switch.
Yeah, outside of Zelda, there's no other game that they mentioned that actively makes me excited. But I'm so keen for Breath of the Wild that I'll probably pick it up anyway. And knowing that Stardew Valley is going across at some point.
Shovel Knight's coming over.
Shovel Knight's coming over there. Yeah, that's good enough for me.
Hopefully, one last thing I want to mention is they did mention Virtual Console, which kind of makes sense because they want to focus on the new and not the old.
They did mention that under the paid service, you do either get a NES or a SNES game.
Free NES or SNES game with multiplayer functions, whatever that fucking means. But the rumoured GameCube Virtual Console, the Wii Virtual Console, because that's what happened with my Vita. I just played it for old games.
Yeah.
None of the new stuff. I just bought PS1 and PS2 games on it because that was cool. I might do the same with the Switch as well.
Short answer is, stick around in the pop cultures as more things come out, as we get our hands on with it, as we get more information, because there'll be a couple of more Switch videos to come, at least.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, it's a hot topic.
It's pretty good. I'm Ryan Betson.
Josh Limited.
That was our reaction to the Nintendo Switch presentation. As I said, keep it locked on, subscribe, ring that little bell so you get notified when we get more little Switch videos coming up.
I know what that bell does.
That's what it does. It lets people know that there's things.
Oh, no wonder.
It's really handy.